Hello and welcome to this tutorial on ls, pwd and cd, which are the UNIX commands for listing the contents of a directory, telling you which directory you're in, and changing the directory. I will also use the command clear, which is to make it easier for you to read. It simply clears the screen. It does nothing else of interest. So you can see that there's already a path being displayed. There's my username and my computer name, so that's Jeff@monster, then a colon, and then it's got a tilde. A tilde is an abbreviation for the user's home directory, or the default directory for that user, which is Jeff. So that's saying Jeff's home directory and documents, which is the directory I'm currently in. So if I do ls, that lists the contents of the directory I'm currently in. If I was to do ls /home /Jeff documents, it lists exactly the same, because my home directory is /home/Jeff. Little comment on the tilde there, but it's exactly the same. So if I now type in pwd, you'll see it prints the full working directory. It stands for pwd, print working directory, and on this occasion it actually gives you the full name of the directory. In UNIX this is called the absolute path. You may come across that expression as you go through your life with UNIX: absolute path and relative path. A relative path is where it begins with a dot. So let me give you an example. In this directory there is another directory called test guides. If I do ls dot slash GUIDES, dyslexia kicking in for a minute, that means the dot means from this point a directory called test guides. Bink. Now in this case I don't actually need the dot. I could have just typed ls test guides, but that's just to I could also type ls /home Jeff There you go. You can see all variations produce exactly the same result. Okay, let's clear the screen because that's getting a little cluttered there now. Hopefully you've had long enough to see what you need to. Now that only gave me the names of the files. What if I want to know a little more about them? There's a long listing, which is ls -l for long, and there it's listed the file names all on the right, and then a whole load of other information, including systems permissions. Don't worry about the second column. The user who owns it, which is Jeff. Group, which if you understand UNIX groups, that's fine. For now don't worry about it, it's outside the scope of this tutorial. It lists the size in a format which is useful if you're doing calculations in programming, but not very friendly to us poor humans. And then dates and excuse me, names. Let's clear the screen. As with other Unix commands, ls also has a human version, and you can see there those numbers with relating to file size has now changed from human meaningless numbers to numbers you're more familiar with, ending in K and M, and well, we haven't got any gigabyte files, so that's about it for that. Now that's all I really want to cover on ls. It does have a number, actually quite a lot of options, but that's all I'm going to cover now. If you wish to know more about ls, you can use the UNIX man command, man ls, and as you can see, you can press H and it's got lots of options for moving around up and down and whatever. Normally we just use spacebar to flick through the options, and you can press Q to quit. So I've covered ls, I've covered pwd. The next most useful command that's in this little group of commands is cd, Charlie Delta in phonetics, and that stands for change directory. Now if you remember, I've just been using that directory test guides. Now I was looking at it, but let's say I want to actually go into that directory. So I would type cd and then the directory name, test guides, and you can see there the shell shows that I'm now in test guides, and if I do ls, there you go, you can see I've changed directory. Now everything you learnt about paths for ls also applies to test guides. So let me just, actually there is one useful one, which is I've covered the dot being a relative one. Actually dot dot is quite useful. If I cd dot dot, that means go up one level. So you know, before I was in the tilde documents, I changed directory into test guides, and just doing that cd dot dot took me back up to tilde documents. Now I could also do cd / home / Jeff documents test guides, and I'm there again. Also, because it's under my home directory, I could also use the tilde abbreviation and go to the current user, which is Jeff in this case, documents test guides. Helps, really helps if I spell it correctly. Sorry about my dyslexia, it's really kicking in on this tutorial. And you can see, you notice the path change at the side of the left hand side of the window. I hope that's been useful to you. It gives you a very quick overview. Let's clear the screen. You can do a man on pwd as before, and I think cd might be one of the strange ones that might not have a man page. Let's just try it and find out. I don't think it does from memory. No, it doesn't, because there aren't any options at all. It is just cd and where you want to go. So there we go. I hope that's been useful to you. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm releasing videos and tutorials and various articles, not only just simple tutorials, but also doing some quite in-depth tutorials and articles on computing in general, as well as UNIX is one of them. Look at the wiki. There's a whole load of information on the wiki, and please come back again soon. Thanks for your time.